You know, let me say something at the outset. The questions that have been asked so far in this debate illustrate why the American people don't trust the media.
During the last Republican primary debate, candidates made noise about the media being out to get them, and the audience went, yeah, as if posing tough questions to powerful people seeking even more power isn't what journalists are supposed to do. How about a refresher? The new movie, Spotlight, makes a better case for probing journalism than anything since All the President's Men.
We've got two stories here. A story about degenerate clergy, and a story about a bunch of lawyers turning child abuse into a cottage industry. Which story do you want us to write? Because we're writing one of them.
It's a true story. The title comes from the Boston Globe's Spotlight team, a handful of reporters who spend months, even years, on single stories. How rare is that? It's the early 2000s, and a picture emerges in dribs and drabs of a vast number of priests sexually assaulting children, and the crimes being hushed up. At first, the story looks like more trouble than it's worth. The team is all Catholic. And who wants to offend relatives, buddies, neighbors, one's priest, not to mention half the Globe's subscribers?
You want to sue the Catholic Church?
We're just filing a motion, but yes.
You think it's that important?
Yes, I do.
Because obviously the church will fight us very hard on this, which won't go unnoticed by our subscriber base. 53% of them are Catholic.
Mm-hmm.
It takes an outsider to light the fire, the new editor, who tells Spotlight not to target individuals, but the institution, the system. Church higher-ups keep pointing out he's Jewish and has an agenda. But that agenda isn't anti-Catholic. It's anti-tribalism, anti-secrecy.
Show me the church manipulated the system so that these guys wouldn't have to face charges. Show me they put those same priests back into parishes time and time again. Show me this was systemic, that it came from the top down.
Most victims were lonely Catholic kids from poor, tough neighborhoods who could be pressured into silence.
When you're a poor kid from a poor family, and when a priest pays attention to you, it's a big deal. How do you say no to God?
There's no blood or nudity in Spotlight. The monsters are largely off-screen, and many scenes turn on reporters poring over files or attempting to convince guarded people to let their guard down. But this low-key, step-by-step, procedural drama becomes more horrifying than any horror movie. The offenses smell to heaven. Director Tom McCarthy has assembled an amazing ensemble, top to bottom.
They knew, and they let it happen!
Including Mark Ruffalo, Rachel McAdams, and Brian Darcy James as reporters, Liev Schreiber as the reticent but firm editor, Stanley Tucci as a cranky Armenian plaintiff's lawyer, and Billy Crudup as the smoothie litigator who makes devil's bargains with the church. Two actors stand out.
If there were 90 of these bastards, people would know.
John Slattery plays an editor split in two. He'd like this story to go away, but he can't not go forward.
This is how it happens, isn't it, Pete?
What's that?
Guy leans on a guy, and suddenly the whole town just looks the other way.
Michael Keaton is riveting as the Spotlight leader, a man who also sits in judgment on himself. One scene is especially useful. Len Cariou's Cardinal Law tells the Globe's editor, the newspaper and the church, two great institutions, should work together. The editor says, a great paper stands alone. The fact is, if journalists aren't adversarial, what the hell are they?